Ladies and gentlemen, Hard Nosed Derby Podcast. What up, yo?
What up, what up? Spring X, what up? Champaign, Urbana, Illinois.
Oh, yeah. You made a fucking little trip.
I did. Made a little trip. It was kind of really dependent on the weather. I was watching a little bit. And it didn't look like it was going to be too horrible, but for some reason, Saturday at Spring X gets cold as shit.
Yeah. Well,
I had jeans on, bro.
Well, I figured you did. Another one that I might have been able to make it to because we had a fucking tsunami in Wentzville on Wednesday night.
Thursday.
Yeah. No, Wednesday, because I come home Thursday night.
Because there was tornado sirens on Friday night.
Yeah. Wednesday night, that was the first tsunami. And you know how I know this? Because you remember you said I hung up on you Thursday?
Yeah.
I was so fucking hungover. Oh, dude, first time I've had a rain out in how long? Like, where I actually stayed.
Is that the snap where I saw beer on the table?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll give you a little backstory on that before we jump into the Spring X deal. So tsunami rolls in at like 8 o'clock, and I'm on the phone with the higher ups, you know.
Yeah.
I had already been like, hey, we're about to get butt fucked by the storm. And they were like, well, we're going to try it. We're going to try it. Oh, yeah. I had 10 trucks set up, ready to move dirt. I had fuck Volvo in the median, get ready to break out some barrier wall and all that shit. We're sitting there. And, I mean, you could see it rolling in. Like, it wasn't one of those, like, oh, you need to look at the radar. Like, no, just look up, motherfucker. Well, I finally get everybody collected and back to the yard. And, I mean, the lightning show, here she come. And I was like, we need to call it so everybody get the fuck out of here. Nope, just wait. You know, it may go north. It, in fact, did not go north.
It went south.
It went to us. So
there we go.
We get, I think, 6/10 of rain in a matter of about 40 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Now we're talking.
At 8:15, it was raining so fucking hard. Like, I was sitting about 2 truck lengths away from where, like, all of our Connexes and shit are.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't see the fucking light plant that was at the Connex.
Oh.
And raining sideways.
Ooh.
So I make another phone call. I said, hey, I'm sending these motherfuckers out of here, and I'm leaving. All right, well, if anything changes, we'll call you. I was like, you don't call me. So I left there and went to Hot Shots. Took me 15 minutes to get a beer. Waitress was pregnant. No offense to pregnant people. But, like, gross. I don't want to see that. That was offensive, wasn't it?
Pretty.
Oops. My bad. Anyway.
Cool bar and grill. Really good pizza.
Yes, very much so.
Yes.
So, after it took me that long to get a beer, I hammered that one and said, fuck y'all. And I found another spot. It's called the Goat House.
Oh, God. Okay.
Dive bar, 1 pool table, about enough room to walk through there and not hit. I could touch the wall and the bar at the same time.
So it kind of sounds like old school Columbia Black and Gold.
Fucking A, bud. That's kind of what it was. No food, just beer.
Just steak and taters.
Oh, yeah. So I threw 100 in the slot machine.
Mm-hmm.
Lost that. And then started power drinking. And they closed at 1 o'clock. I think we left there at 2:15.
Oh.
Yeah. Waitress wouldn't get her titties out. Ridiculous.
Because she was pregnant.
No. That was the first
okay,
bar.
the pregnant one didn't transfer over with you. My bad.
I don't know. If we would have stayed there much longer, she might have been pregnant. I don't know.
You said we, so there wasn't a mouse in your pocket.
No, there was 3 of us.
Okay. Pretty
I
rough,
drank all the ultras. And whenever I'm not joking, like they had to change the keg.
A draft beer.
Oh yeah.
No wonder you were hungover.
But I was good because I drank nothing but beer. I didn't switch over and get all ignorant. Didn't do any drugs. Like
I didn't do the dumb shit.
But woke up I got a phone call from like the big boss at 6 o'clock in the morning. I was like, ugh. He's like, where's your trimmer at? I was like, I don't even know where the fuck I'm at. Give me a second.
Give me a minute, I'll call you back.
And I did. I was like, I went and fucking splashed some water in my face and called him back. I said, did you just call me? What'd you need? Anyway, that was Steven's shenanigans for the week.
JM Race Engines is a new business in north central Missouri that have you covered from top to bottom for all your engine needs. Purpose-built engines with the correct amount of clearance will get you to the end of any show, whether it's your local shows or on the national level, where you can't be let down by your equipment. With top-level professional machine work to all engines, your choice of build is totally up to you. JM Race Engines will give you the confidence to push your equipment to the max while giving you your preferred horsepower to boot. From LS builds all the way to your exotic level small blocks that your imagination can only dream of, they have you covered.
But it doesn't stop there. They are also a speed shop that carries a variety of heads, carburetors, intakes, plug wires, helmets, and other safety equipment, and the best VP fuel on the market today to take you to the top. So if you're wanting mild build to wild build, let JM Race Engines help take you there.
But it's a little bit different when, you're gone almost all week long, and, there's time to hang out with the wife and the babies and stuff, so I leave you be with that kind of stuff.
Well, and
unless we plan it ahead.
Right, 100%. And that's what we did. I mean, I had some shit needed to get caught up on around the house.
Get some hogs ready to go to the meat market.
Oh, yeah. That shit's going to be good.
Yep. We have talked.
Did you have fun?
It was a pretty decent time. It was a pretty decent show.
Yeah. I seen everything from sunburns to
windburns,
frostbite.
I think it was all within probably a 12-hour period.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only reason I say that, Mark Lindsay, it was fucking smoked.
Because he had his fur coat on yesterday. So you go from getting sunburnt and hot to
popping tags.
To the fur.
They have boots on with those?
I didn't even see. Boots, wet the fur. Rule change. Yes. Drastic rule change on the 4v4 side, which we've talked about.
Yes. And you could see that.
Tremendously.
Dude, like I said, I try to hit the highlights whenever I don't get to go to that shit, and I had fucking PTSA carnival and all that horse shit. Whenever I did pop in and was kind of doing my skim through stuff like I normally do so I can bullshit my way through this podcast. Holy fucking bending.
All the bending.
And dude, I felt so sorry for those fuckers that were working on their cars.
As the tornado sirens were going off?
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about it a bunch before. Like, it fucking sucks anyway.
Oh, yeah.
It sucks having to work your complete dick off on those cars, but then in the middle of that.
Mm-hmm. Dudes were what I got told yesterday was, I thought it was just one round. It wasn't.
No.
It was about 10 o'clock for round number one and about 5:30 for round number two. Dudes, just tents and shit were just flying through the pits.
Yeah.
Guys had welders in puddles and was getting shocked.
Oh, yeah.
Every time you go to lay a bead.
But what's crazy about that on the flip side, and that's what makes me love this fucking sport, they still did it.
They did it with devotion.
Yeah, because you take somebody like myself, I would have been like, fuck this.
Some of the teams said that.
Well, and you know my fear of storms. I don't like that shit anyway. I would have been like, fuck it, you can have the car or whatever. The only time that I'm okay with is if I know like I'm going to get sucked off. By a tornado, you get your mind out of the gutter.
So you want to go fly with no airplane?
I might have meant it the other way.
Where's Steven's pants?
He's
He's getting ready for that tornado. He's getting ready for that blowjob.
All right, that's enough fuckery. My bad.
The rule change really did change it. You still had heats that were action-packed on Friday night. Mm-hmm. Thursday night, you had vans, two-man vans, two-man trucks, two-man hobo compacts. Pretty decent, over really quick.
Call out after call out.
On the Friday show, yes. It was kind of... On the compact side for the limited weld, it was still limited weld. It wasn't full blown mod, so you saw a lot of shit getting hurt on the Friday heats, even when it was the half track stuff. Same way with the big cars. They hurt some units. There was some transmissions breaking in half. Compliments of Brittany Ullman. But you know, the HYB girls, they hard fought battle. But what was cool is you could watch, and somebody had the upper hand, and then about 30 seconds later, the tides would turn, all because of some of that dumb shit or driving a little too hard, losing wheel, losing suspension. But they were really good on the big cars.
What was the chatter in the pits? Like, because I know you wander around a little bit. Like, what was everybody's thoughts after it actually played out through the heats on the rule change? Did you hear any?
The only thing that I really heard is it was one of those things. You saw fresh faces.
Double-edged sword, do you think?
It was. Some of them were like, it's not a horrible change, but we just need a little bit more added or a few more plates.
Well,
because they didn't get very many plates.
But another thing about that, on the flip side, and we kind of talked about that before the show showed up, is they don't have to run as many times.
Worst come to worst is 3.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So, honestly, I feel like if you were going to do that lighter rule set, that was the place to do it.
Yeah.
In the team setting, because you don't have to try to run and run and run and run and run.
And in the feature, there's enough cars on the track you can hide a little bit.
That is one of the huge upsides to that track. Is whenever that feature rolls around. Yeah, but whenever that feature rolls around, if you do have a little bit of a hurt car and you've got all your cars back out there on the track, they can protect you for a while. Mm-hmm. Even if you're a pin car.
Yeah. They were normalcy. Big cars. Saturday night, they went to the ends.
Yeah, well, and I seen that. It looked like there was 2 derbies going on.
But you want to talk about one end getting turned the fuck up? Because that was that, where were we talking about? Capital City Carnage. Where usually when the C's part, usually those guys are, working together. But this was another case that, no. There were some guys that went to the same end to go after the other team, which got pretty radical. I think one of the guys from Toast Promotions did you see the Rock On team? I don't know who their sponsor was, but they had the Rock On roof signs with the little numbers. Uh-huh. They got it the fuck on.
Really?
Quick. And next thing I know, Toast puts old boy up on the blocks, and his teammate half track wide open to get his teammate off of the wall. We had the familiar faces of what we normally have. To an extent, you had the Toast Promotions guys, which was a little bit different look than what we're used to seeing. Tim Atkins was on there. Patty Cakes was on there. There was a Peyton on there who gave 0 shits. He was wide open, turned up, and then you actually had Toast on himself. it's just one of those things where it took, in my opinion, even on a lesser build, this thing actually probably got turned up quicker than normal than what we're used to seeing. And I mean, it was kind of that same way on the two-man side too. We had 3 one-and-done features for the two-man bone stock full-size cars. They would hold back a little bit, and then you'd see some cracking and throttles, and then they kind of chill out a little bit, and then they get it back on again. And it kind of did that same way with the 4-man setting. We got to see Josh Delar. I'm used to seeing Josh, on the tech area and on the wall, but he actually played that rule game. Did you see what Mr. Josh was in? The rules were 1 old iron per team. No suicides. No Imperials. What is the definition of a suicide?
Well, okay.
What makes a true suicide Lincoln?
Well, I'm assuming you're talking about the doors.
Correct. What if there's only 2 doors instead of 4? Then it's not technically a suicide.
Correct.
Right? That's what Mr. Delar brought.
So they're a Continental though, right? They're not considered.
Correct. Yep.
See, that's usually why you see in those rule sets, what is it, 73 or some shit, and older.
Yep.
FOMO,
FOMOCO.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was some of that rule play.
Can we take a step back for a second though, and talk a little bit about Patty? That fucking dude he is a fucking machine.
So,
because he's been around the world.
Oh yeah, in the last month.
Yeah.
Brought a pretty slick wagon.
Dude.
And then what they did to it Friday night into Saturday, holy shit, it was wicked. It was sedagged. It was sloped.
Anybody that says that guy is not a fucking force to be reckoned with.
Promise you. Promise you. Yeah.
Because we have talked about him, for a while, because he's been running that show. This is not, even before the EPR bouts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We had talked about him. And the more that you keep watching him, dude, it's... Fuck it, I'm a fan.
He just keeps getting better.
I'm a fucking fan.
We talked right before they went out, and I said, what's the plan? He said, normalcy. I was like, okay, going to the end. He said, and then fuck up anybody that comes down there. As I'm looking at the ass end of this wagon, I'm like, man, that thing is a suspension-eating bitch. And it wasn't with the rails.
Right.
It's just how they sedagged it. It had a good slope to it. And the height was just money.
Dude, his fucking setups. Because very rarely do we see mechanical failure
Correct.
interrupt what he's got going on.
Yep.
For real. And
yeah.
I'm talking big time, national level shit. I'll drive mine to the trailer.
I looked at him. I was like, dude, you have a weapon. He said, I plan on using it. I said, hide that nose. He said, I already planned it.
Well, that's another thing of the drive style of him. And fuck it, y'all can say I'm sucking his dick, it's whatever. He is such a strategic driver. They call him a bagger, but he's not.
Correct.
He does not fit into...
bagger status.
No, because is he conservative? 100%.
Does he use his head?
100%. But whenever it's go time, he is the first motherfucker to be, he'll have his foot in the shroud.
Yeah. In reverse.
Yeah.
And
and that's another thing that's fucking crazy is that is so old school of his drive style because he can drive backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And will.
And has no issues with it.
No.
He'll do it with a Ford. He'll do it with a wagon.
Yeah.
He'll do it with a Caddy. It just does not matter.
That's why you look And I'm going to say 80% of the time, you look out there and Patty still has a nose that is straight as a fucking arrow. And whenever it comes down to the end of it, guess what?
Nose was still straight as an arrow.
Time to turn it around.
After.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, whatever. That was my fanboy for the day. Ace Performance. With years in the sport of demolition derby, Jeremy and his family-ran business have changed the game right there in Bowling Green, Missouri. All products for your fresh build or to fix your older build. They got you. Radiators, check. Wheel and tire combos, check. Distributor clamps, plug wires, check. Fuel cells, cradles, check. It would be a lot shorter list of what they don't carry than what they do. If you find yourself in need of parts, reach out to Ace Performance on Facebook. They've got you covered.
No, like I said, Toast was turning it up. Peyton was turning it up. Patton was doing what he had to do. Tim and Toast and Peyton were the first ones to actually really, really start hammering down, Bob and Dusty and Ryan and Johnson. Yep. We're on the other end. And then, of course, it just took a little bit longer because they were actually having to work on their ends to get to the middle. But you can kind of watch the cars. They just start moving a little bit. And then you got to the middle when you were down to a couple.
Well, that's how that works every year.
Oh, yeah. One thing that really curveballed me is I told you they could bring one old iron. Mm-hmm. Misco Cranes had 0 old iron.
Which is, again, not something...
No Whitaker in an old iron. And if Bob's not in an old iron, then you're figuring Durham's going to be in an old iron. Right, because we're used to Johnson and Gilgis, they can be in a Ford. Bob's in a square body Ford. HD, I'm sure. So there was teams that were kind of going for the agility and not the old iron issues when you get to that. I think that's part of that. If you are going to be up all night working on an old iron, I might want to be up 6 hours extra pulling down a Ford. And I think with those rule settings and everything like that, I think that changed a lot of guys' opinion on what they were going to bring. We talked to one of the Alexander concession guys, Luke Schaffner.
Right.
He ended up taking a Ford. He took a 9802, and Alexander Concessions did not come back for the Conci. That's not something we're used to, but Luke, it was up. Derek Creetlow and Cody Knuth, they had a very rough heat. They got through it. We're used to seeing Cody in a wagon.
Right.
Cody was not in a wagon. Cody was in a box Ford. Still driving it like a wagon, though. He says, for some reason, after a few hits, I couldn't see shit out the back. He's not used to that. It's that change. Like I said, HYB girls, they held their own. They got down, at least, I think, to the top 5. So very, very respectable and decent run for...
Looked like they had fun.
They did. I don't think Seth had much fun.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, like I said, Brittany actually exploded a 3-speed in the Friday night heat. So, but a lot of guys jumped on board, come over and said, "What do you need?" Because it wasn't 03, The other 3 took the 98 to 02s, and those cars were hurt after Friday's heats. Toast Promotions cars look pretty good after those heats. The 2-man side got pretty
That's an understatement.
And it was some of that, guys were starting to really turn it up, and then you'd see them back down, and then you'd get it to turn up again. It's like it's just like it would not sustain the constant wide open with everything. Those, I'm pretty sure, are the same rules. that they've kind of always ran on that 2-man or on that bone stock side. So you saw a lot of familiar faces. You saw some new faces. With that rule change, I've even heard moving forward that guys are already trying to get teams set up for 2027.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, and evidently that what I thought might deter with that rule change did not. But I think maybe Taylor needs to maybe step back, just reevaluate just a few things, because I'm pretty sure.
My big deal is
they only got 4 plates.
Is any of that shit able to run somewhere else? Like, I haven't looked at the rules. I'm not gonna lie.
Probably
because they're so light.
Yep, but how bad some of them were hurt. Right. You either going to restub them. I mean, a lot of them, there was 0 ass ends or they were dragging the dirt.
No, I'm with you.
It's one of them you'd have to build it up so much or cut the whole, cut the front stub off and start over.
I'm with you.
Maybe a few extra plates might have helped.
Right.
Because I think they only got to start fresh with 2, and they ended up getting 2 per rail after.
It's so hard to. That plate discussion will be a thing that goes on until this fucking sport is either dead or, or we're done, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that will be a forever discussion.
Yep. Yeah. Compacts.
Okay.
There was some, what did he call it? There was some bitch-made shit. They allowed call-outs, which we did head off on. There were some teams that were calling other teams out that were maybe dodging, that didn't want to do that normal heat draw, so they thought maybe it was the easy way out. But the problem with that being, all those guys that made it through to the feature remembered that shit.
Uh-huh.
And it started as big cars. These teams this end, these teams this end. They did a little dance for a little bit. And until it wasn't. You heard one throttle from one end all the way to the other. Then you saw 3 other teammates right behind them going to the same cars.
And I mean, it do be like that.
That shit was fun to watch. Because that happened for roughly 2 minutes. That team was destroyed. They went back to the other end. And then Team LMMF, Mr. Cody Bedsworth, he started working his way to the middle a little bit. And what it looked like he was doing was poking the bear, where he just kind of come down and touch with a bumper and then go to the other end. And he'd get somebody to come back down to that end. And then it was a complete hornet's nest. That guy broke off, and then they do it again.
The old bait and switch.
Yep. Until it was time, and then it was time. Clayton Fernandez is a very good friend of ours as a person, not just the Derby guy. I told him after the feature, it was myself, Eric Mulder, Lane Harold, Wyatt Fink. We were sitting actually up in the stands watching this, and Eric looked at me and said, "Why don't you text him and see if he answers?" And at that point in time, Clayton was like, well, I might have. I might have been able to answer. The calmest I've ever seen him drive, ever. He's really going to kill me. Mr. Eric Mulder is starting to build engines, those 3.4s.
Yep.
That thing ran in Clayton's car ran absolutely phenomenal. I never saw it die. I never saw it steam. Did not lose axle, what we're used to seeing Clayton do.
Maybe Clayton took a page or 2 out of old Cody's playbook.
They didn't have that good of luck on Thursday night.
Oh, and I got the Snapchat. He said we still suck.
I think there were some axles broken, is what happened. And man, it was cool to see when we've talked about these guys so much. We've talked about, Brennan Kerr, Calvin Leonard, going down to Kentucky to Sturgis and running, and then we've seen him at Southern Illinois Showdown as well. And you see these four kind of team up and have some really good luck. Cody Bedsworth did not have that good of luck. He lost fuel pump about halfway through it, and I shook his hand. He said, "What are you shaking my hand for? I didn't do shit." I was like, "You just didn't do your normal." Because we're used to seeing Cody first person to turn it up and go to the other end and get it on. But maybe that maybe that misfortune changed how his teammates actually drove. So, I mean, it was a really good show to watch. It was, other than, like I said, other than the weather. Big cars, Miss Go Cranes pulled out the win. Toast Promotions pulled out second. On the youth side, that got a little crazy. You had a little Delar. He had it. That Lincoln was snooted on both ends. Cam was doing Cam shit. Because at one time it was down to 2-on-1. And right when it got to the 2-on-1, I said, boy, these kids got their hands full. And about that time, I watched their right rear wheel break off Cam. And I said, y'all still better, if you don't get on him, he's going to beat you on three wheels, boys. And they just got him pinned up where he couldn't. I didn't catch the names of the kids who won, but all stand-up kids. The feature was over. In my opinion, they didn't give them enough track because they only gave them about a third of it. They didn't even give them a half of it they would, in the normal heat. So they necked it down a little bit more. But watching these kids, hearing the throttle on these kids were on it, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, on it.
I don't fuck around.
And there was no fuck around at all. Man, other than just hearing, a few little just minute tweaks and stuff, I think that show is, I think it's still on one of the forefronts of our area. And it's going to be, I think it's going to stay one of those things for a while. Like I said, we were kind of worried that it just kind of, with the rule change, the tech changes and stuff like that, that kind of sometimes puts a target on you. Oh, but it looks like they came through flying colors. Pits were full. I mean, full. And I don't think it's quite been that way for a couple of years. So hats off to Derby Icons. Really good show. You didn't get to go to Bourbon with me. There's a guy that was teching at Bourbon, and was actually at the show yesterday as well. So let's see if we can't get this old legend on the phone and talk to him for a little bit.
Let's do it.
Cool. Be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you tired of your compact going into limp mode? Are you tired of watching everyone run circles around you at national level shows? If you are, do something about it.
LMMF Simplified Wiring is the only way to go. With tuned DCMs and simplified harnesses, Ryan has made everything simple for you. Just plug and play. With next level customer service backing up a great product, why not join the winning side? They will get you wired. So you can visit www.lmmfsimplifiedwiring.com or find them on Facebook to get you started.
And enough about compacts. They also do LS stuff. So for big or small needs, hit them up. Well, you said you had some questions.
Phone call?
Right there it is.
Phone call we made. Critter's Garage, Mr. Critter, Mr. Chris Smith. What is up, dude?
How we doing?
We're doing, brother. I think you might be tired. Are you finally getting to settle down a little bit?
Yeah, it's been a busy few weeks. We had Bourbon and then had an off weekend. Then we went over to Spring X and hung out. And shoot, we had an off week and then we're back over River City.
Whoo, man, you've got a lot of shows getting close to you. You ain't got to drive everywhere.
It's kind of nice.
Man,
It,
and
it's got its
the shows you're talking
good
about,
and
I mean, they've all been action-packed.
oh, for sure.
And then River
sure.
City is always just turned all the way up.
Always stupid.
Oh, yeah, you got to watch out for those tall header clubs.
They'll crawl up and get you.
Yeah, but the good thing is, though, is you hear them coming.
I promise. If you can't hear them coming, you're deaf completely.
Guaranteed.
100%. 100%.
Well, Critter, man, you were down at Bourbon Beatdown with me, but you were on the tech side. How are you digging that stuff?
Oh, it's not bad. I don't mind it. It lets me interact more with drivers and stuff like that, and just to see the way guys do things differently. I definitely enjoy that. Like I promoted years ago, like my county fair, and helped around the county fair level, but it's a way different ball game on the, we'll call it the national level side.
Mm-hmm.
The creativity is way different, and it's good and bad, really.
Yeah.
But it pushes you as an inspector, and then it pushes you as a builder too to be like, okay, I like that. I'd try that. And you learn quite a bit, both sides. And I think it's one of those that, as a person on the Derby, in the Derby world period, you get a whole different aspect and respect for the sport when you've been on both sides of the wall.
Yeah. Yep. Both sides of the wall, well, one promoting and teching, but you still run too.
I attempt it. I put a good solid effort in.
You ran Spring X last year, right?
Yeah, we ran Spring X last year.
Y'all held your own.
Lance. So, but yeah, and then we got a 4-man show coming up this summer that Toast is doing. So
The old Johnson County.
yeah.
And I actually talked to Toast while we was all down there at Bourbon, and everybody is so jazzed about that show, being that it went to a team setting anyways. And we even talked to the Patton girls, while we were up in Gold Rush, and they were looking forward to it because they're so used to the single setting. Now it's a team setting. And we all know, dude, you're going to go as a team. You're just not painted the same.
100%. Well, and that's any county fair, right? Or almost now it's almost any big shows, because there's so many of us that run the big shows that travel to the same big shows.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of, I'm looking forward to it, because it's going to be like the 4-man where it's the 4v4 all the way, instead of half of them out there in the feature. It'll be just one team versus one team
Instead of the political bullshit.
Yep.
That's what we like to see.
Well, and I think you have to do that when it's so many that are signed up for that are so local, that you have to do it this way, or it would turn into politics pretty quick.
Okay. Now, what did you think overall of this weekend when you came over to Spring X and hung out and watched?
I thought it was good. We only came over for Saturday, but I thought it was a good show overall. The 2-man started out pretty slow. I think they were all making sandwiches down here on that one end we were all standing at. I could say that because I'm really good buddies with about half the guys that was on the track on our end when that happened.
Yep.
But yeah, it started out slow, but it turned into a really good derby, I thought. We didn't get to see much of the 4-man feature. We were loading stuff up and packing things away.
Well,
what I did get to see, it was a good show.
Cool. Now, dude, we're going to jump off into it. A lot of people know you from TikTok, right?
Yeah.
So what in the hell kicked you in the ass to say, hey, let's start a TikTok page?
Well, I blame my wife for that because she'd be sitting over in the chair, one night just down a rabbit hole giggling and laughing. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm watching TikTok. Oh, good Lord. I'm never downloading that app. Now I spend more time on it, I think she does. But, yeah, I mean, it's been fun. There's definitely been its ups and downs. But, yeah, I wouldn't change it.
Would not change it. Nothing you would ever do different for it.
I don't think so, really, because I don't really call things, bad decisions. It's more of a learning experience.
Okay.
I don't try to let anything become negative. More of a learning experience versus it being something negative.
Well, is it still fun to you? I guess that's the big deal.
It's not been, but I'm trying to figure out a way to make it back fun again for me.
Well, I noticed that's kind of what I was wanting to touch on because I'd seen your post and I had commented on it, and you can ask Derek. There's some weeks that I'm like, dude, I'm done with this shit. Like, I'm done. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
I'm over it. I don't want to do it. But then I'll end up we'll go to a show and I'll get to hang out with all of our buddies and stuff like that, and it'll kind of light that fire again. Honestly, though, even Derek and I were talking about it. I'm ready for that again because I haven't sat in a car since Bristol, the first one.
Right. I can understand that. I get that 100%. Same here. Because, there for a while, you could set your clock by it. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, I was live on TikTok out in the barn working. And we had just done that for so long, trying to post content to grow that. Then we were trying to do a YouTube channel because, not everybody watches you on every platform, so you got to try to catch everyone on every platform. And then you start posting on Facebook and trying to be monetized everywhere. That way, what little bit of money you might get back in, it's worth it. You're trying to catch it at every angle. And I burnt myself out. I really did.
Yep.
We've this last winter, I've had to really back up and not pump, but regroup.
Oh, I mean, completely understand that. I mean, hell, we've been there. I mean,
yeah.
We had to stop for a little bit because I think, what was it, the first year that we started doing this, we made it to 30 shows, counting local stuff.
Yeah, something like that.
And we were trying to record on that and at that point we were still putting on derbies, traveling to all these other ones, and we got to the end of the year. Derek's like, I'm not putting on another derby ever. And our old ladies were mad. I mean, it was too much. I guess that's whenever we finally realized we're like, hey, we're going to have to stick to one thing and kind of roll with that. And then that's whenever I started running, once or twice a year just to kind of fuel that addiction. But the rest 100%. Of it, we, focused on mainly the podcast stuff that we release on Spotify and all the different platforms and mess around on Facebook a little bit.
Yep. Well, and for me, it's, for as much time as you put into it, on the content side, there for a while when we was trying to run the YouTube and stuff, I would, I'd get up at 6:30 every morning to get ready for work. It would be get off from work, come out to the barn, be out here till 10, 11, be trying to edit stuff till midnight, 1 a.m., and that was 6 days a week. And it'd make an old man out of you quick.
Yeah.
And it'd get to the point where it'd be like, I'm going to have to hire somebody just to mow my yard because I don't have time.
Your hobby took over your life. Is what had happened.
It did, and I think that's what took a lot of the fun out of it for me the last few months, and why I just it got to the point where we were coming home from the Wicked show in January. A bunch of us go down there like a little guys trip, buy some stuff, get ready for the summer, and we was coming home, and I'm like, I think more derbies I go to, the more I just hate this sport. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, I am burnt out, and I've done it to myself.
Yep.
Well, whenever that hobby becomes a job, you've lost your hobby at that point.
100%, and that's where it was. And I got a real good buddy of mine. He lives close, and he comes and helps me, and I help him on his cars, and we build out of my barn. And he's been over here. He's a lot of my voice of reason. I lean on him quite a bit, and he's like, "You gotta back up and punt a little bit here." He said, "You've officially almost broke the candle in half and burnt that part of it too out." And he's right, because, I mean, if anybody knows me, I'll light both ends, and then about halfway through, I'll snap that candle in half and light those ends too.
Triple B's Tees offer custom shirts and logo designs for all your apparel and merchandise needs, offering a variety of shirts, hats, hoodies, tumblers, and koozies. Triple B's will work with you one-on-one to personalize and perfect your logo. With over 5 years in the business, 20 years in the sport, they live for Demolition Derby.
Chunk and his crew can bring your imagination to realization with 0 limitations. So for all your badass tees, choose Triple B's. Well, the reason I asked you about, that TikTok and what you would change, so you even kind of said it, you were doing some youth builds, and you were actually giving those to kids around your area to shows. And then you had the misfortune, because of the platforms that you're on, somebody turned you in about some shit?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was great 3 days of my life. So, looking back, hindsight's 20/20, of course, but looking back, yes, I was in the wrong and didn't think nothing about it. In the state of Indiana, you have to have a gambling license to do any kind of raffle or whatever you want to call it nowadays. Or you have to be like a non-for-profit organization or whatever.
Yes.
Didn't think anything about it, because I promise you there was no money made in my pockets on that deal all summer long.
We know all about that.
And, yeah, it's kind of one of the things, you want to make $1 million in Derby, and you start out with 2.
Yes.
But, so, yeah, we was doing all these, we'd built 4 cars, gave them away, and on the 4th one, we'd already gave it away, and I think the card even actually ran, and, no, it hadn't been ran yet. It was done, but hadn't ran. We gave it away, hadn't ran yet, and went to open up the front door one day, and there was a business card in the front door. I'm like, what is this? And it was the Indiana Gaming Commission had been to my house and put their business card in my front door. So I called them the next day. Of course, I had no idea how long it even been out there. And she's like, yeah, I put that out there like 3 days ago, and I'm trying to be vague and not throw any more information I have to out there in this conversation, because I don't want to completely incriminate myself.
Correct.
And she's like, is this, Chris Smith and part of Critter's Garage, and did you make this post on this date? And I'm like, well, you caught the critter. We're like, well, no denying this, because she's rattling off everything that my Facebook's showing right now. And I'm like, she's got me. And she's like, I was like, look, I understand I messed up. What can I do? She's like, well, in the state of Indiana, this could lead to hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines. It could lead into a felony and jail time.
Oh, my.
For helping out a kid.
Yeah, and I'm like, great. And I'm like, well, with my Smith luck, this is how this is going to go. I don't look good in orange, so. And then, so she's like, well, let's start with this. No more of these. I'm like, oh, we're done. And she's like, I need you to delete everything off your social media about them. So the wife and I spent about 5 hours deleting any kind of content had to do with any of the youth stuff from the whole year.
Oh.
And that there was nerve-wracking enough to see if we got everything, did we forget something, but we got all that done. And then she's like, well, you'll get a letter in the mail within the next 30 days of what we decide, and we'll go from there. So we sat and we waited, and then a letter came in the mail, talked about the whole conversation. It was like a synopsis of the conversation I had with the lady, and pretty much ended up just a smack on the wrist. Don't do it again. So,
all for helping a kid get into the sport of demolition derby, and some fucking Karen, I'm guaranteeing you, is the one who turned you in and got them on your balls because they didn't like it.
Well, we have a feeling we know who it might have been, but there is a thing that is called, I think it's called the Right to Know Act. I can actually send a letter in, and they technically have to tell me. But I have conflicting interests about doing it.
Well, yeah, I would be done with that. I would.
Because part of me wants to know, but then part of me doesn't want to know. That way I always will take the high road because I never know.
Yes.
But I have a very good idea who it is. And we'll just leave it at that.
Good answer.
That's fair. That's completely fair. Let's move on from that. Glad you didn't get in any trouble over it.
Yeah. Luckily, it was just about a week worth of worrying whether or not I was going to jail and losing everything I got. So
just a little pee-pee smack.
It turned out.
Well, if it's anything like myself, it'd be really hard for me to lose everything because I ain't got much.
Right. I mean, they'd be highly disappointed with the debt they'd start picking the tab up on.
Oh, well, on a little bit lighter note, what's next in the world of Critter?
We are gonna, like I said, running the Toast 4-man show in July, and then I don't know what we're gonna do next. The wife and I have talked quite a bit. I think I want to start going to. I want to venture out more with the Derbian. I've got some opportunities to where I could go to Canada to run, and then I've also got an opportunity that was provided that I could go out to Alaska and run. So that may be in the future.
See, Alaska, that's wild. I mean, the Canada thing, yes, that would be really cool, but the Alaska thing, like that's wild.
That's what I asked Critter yesterday. I said, they fucking derby in Alaska? He was like, oh, yes.
Anywhere, I would say anywhere you'd find a four-wheeled car, they're running it into another one.
Right.
I just wouldn't think it would be Alaska.
Oh, look it up. Look up the Alaskan State Fair.
Well, now I got to look up Hawaii because do they do shit in Hawaii?
I don't know.
Yes. I've got a follower that rolls through my TikTok lives all the time.
Of course you do, Critter. Of course you do.
I'm sorry. I do.
Oh, that's great.
So they're wrecking shit in Hawaii. They're wrecking it in Alaska. We already know they've been wrecking it in Canada.
Yeah, they're pretty good at it. Pretty good at it in Canada.
Yeah, pretty good, eh?
Yeah.
Since 2012, GHE Transmissions has been an industry leader in the purpose-built transmission world. With endless research and development, Jarek has proved to the nation that his builds are ones at the top of the list. From aftermarket cases to turbo 400s, short or long tails, your build options are what you want them to be. Whether you want one of his OG builds or his new Spragless 2.0s, you're just one decision away from changing the game on your end. Customer service that is almost unmatched. Let GHE change your confidence in your builds and let them take you to the front of the line. Would you ever think when you were a kid getting into everything that you would have the opportunities to do what you're doing because of social media?
No, I did not. Not at all. That's kind of like the wife and I was talking. Where was we? Was it? I think it was Bourbon. We was down at Bourbon, and Moonshiner Jerry was there and all that, and we were interacting with him, which we met him from TikTok. He rolled through one night and has been hanging out ever since. And it's like, did you ever think 10 years ago, this is what we would be doing with social media and having these opportunities. And neither one of us thought this would ever be what it was. And it, like we talked yesterday, Derek, at the Derby, it's almost not the Derby. It's about the people that you get to see when you go to those certain Derbies every year.
Yep.
I've always said that I love going to these parties with my friends, and then a Derby pops up. Because I'm telling you anymore, it's got where I have way more fun hanging out with all of my buddies that we've made over the years doing this podcast stuff that you don't ever get to see because, there's such a distance gap in where all of us live. And you get to go to these shows, you get to hang out with all these people. It's a blast. The Derby is just a plus.
Right. Well, that's like there during the 4-man last night. It had got started and the wife was hungry and I was wanting something to drink, so we ran up to behind the bleachers there. Next thing you know, we were betting $5 with Toby Hiley that he couldn't make the trash can with an empty can.
Because he was riding passenger with Landon. That was the problem.
Well, that boy's going to be a chip off the old block. But, yeah, I mean, that's just those things right there. We stood up there for 10 minutes, $5, double or nothing, and, of course, he ended up losing, but it was entertaining.
That is
But that right there is what it's all about.
Yes.
100%. Like, we've used the social media stuff for its good as well. Like, we've got another follower that was having some health issues, and we raised a bunch of money through my TikTok last year and helped him out, and just those kind of things is the nice thing about the social media and makes you want to keep doing it.
Yes. And I love it, and that's one thing that I've always said about this group of people is you don't find more generous people in such a diverse community as you do in Demolition Derby.
100%. I mean, how often do you see, like, say, for example, somebody traveling to a big show, they end up broke down, and one post gets shared on Facebook 500 times, and you're just now seeing it a few hours later, and some random person's already taken care of and stepped in and helped.
Well, yeah, somebody has offered them 3 pickups, 2 trailers, and offered to come fly them to wherever they're going. I mean,
yeah,
and it's awesome. And it's everywhere from a CEO of a company or a COO to a garbage man.
Yeah, and everything in between.
Yep. And that is one of the main drives that keeps me in this sport, because you don't see that shit with NASCAR. You don't see that. You don't see that with the NFL or Major League Baseball or any of that shit. But you do in Demolition Derby.
For sure.
Well, dude, one thing that you have kind of moved forward to that some people might not know, some people do know if they follow you. You actually have Critters Garage, but you have Critters Engines.
Yeah, there's a few of them out there.
I synced the sticker.
So here, there's enough on your plate. We'll throw that bitch right out the window, and we'll add one more part on your plate.
Yeah. That's how it works. I'm telling you. I'm really good about getting about 26, 27 hours out of a 24-hour day.
You got to work through lunch.
Yeah. At least twice.
Cut your shower time down.
Yeah.
So what
the Critter engine started years and years ago. It was always just a little joke, and next thing you know, I've probably built 5 or 6 of them here in the last few years for different people. And I've been building my own since 2005. And then the Critters Garage, it was easier more universal for the social media side of it.
No, I get it, and I mean, and it works. I mean, because you talk to anybody that runs around on Facebook or TikTok or whatever, and you say Critters Garage, they've run across the video.
Yeah.
So I mean, hell, it's becoming a household name.
Man, people gonna have to raise their standards.
I know that the little stuffed animals that you gave me whenever we were seeing each other at Bourbon, what was that, 2 years ago?
Yep.
Yeah, 2 years ago. My kids.
Was this one I thought you were gonna kill me?
Yes, that was that one.
Yeah.
So I told Derek yesterday, and I haven't told many people this. I'm sitting here wore out at Bourbon down there at the lobby of that hotel. We're on a little, everybody's got their own little groups, just chatting it up. And here I am looking at this man, this mountain of a man. We're of locked eyes. And here comes this refrigerator box with a head. He's got paws big enough to bear hunt with a switch, and like beelining towards me. I'm no little feller, but I'm not huge either. And I'm like, this is gonna fucking hurt. And I'm not gonna lie, when you reached out and said, I crittered, I'm like, I melted in my boots. And my heart rate went back to normal. I thought, I'm not getting my ass whooped right here in this hotel lobby. I thought I was done for. Even my buddy Jordan was standing next to me. He goes, dude, I don't know what was getting ready to happen, but I was prepared to jump on his back. I'm like, well, I'm glad I was prepared just to run.
Oh, Chad. Well, oh, man. Well, my bark's worse than my bite. My kids, I'm serious though, they haven't put those stuffed animals down. They're still running around.
My daughter's stuffed animal is next to her bed on her nightstand, and that's where it's been since the minute I gave it to her.
That's awesome.
That's
my wife, man. She's awesome with the merch stuff. She comes up with all that different stuff, makes it all, and
the one that my boy has, it gets to ride in his little remote control 4-wheel drive Jeep all the time.
That's awesome.
Dude, how did you get so lucky though? Because a lot of guys, when they try something, the wife kind of gets put on the back burner a little bit at times.
Looks like yours jumped in with both
yours
feet.
not, yeah. Yours she just jumped in the deep end, with you, and is along for the ride and so supportive.
Oh, 100%. I'm like truly blessed with that. For sure. No, definitely can't complain there. And there's times, I've been ready to just close up doors, roll up the sidewalks, and be done. And she's like, no, it's not happening. You've got way too much time and effort in this. You got people out there that enjoy your content and enjoy what you're doing, and you need to stick with it. And she's definitely been a monster supporter the whole way.
Oh, that is just awesome to actually even see. And I knew that, but not all the listeners know that stuff. And that's the cool part, when the whole family can actually be involved in something that you're doing that's taking so much time of your life.
Oh yeah, and it's funny because everybody knows there's Mrs. C.
Yep.
Hardly anybody knows there's Tiffany. It's always Mrs. C. and
Mama Critter.
And there's times it's like she takes the back burner quite a bit, and I try not to let it happen, but it's definitely tough to balance at times.
Correct. Well, brother man, we're gonna let you get to maybe some chill time before your next TikTok live. So I don't know where we're gonna see you next, but I hope it's not a year apart like it was last time.
Right. Are you guys anybody gonna try to make it over to River City?
Mine 100% depends on the weather.
And mine, I'm out because I got to go to a local show.
Oh, that's right. You said that yesterday.
Yep.
Right on. Yeah, we'll be there. I'm not sure where else we'll be. We like River City because it's about 45 minutes from the house, and it's our birthday weekend, so we usually try to go to that show.
Okay, cool. Yep. I think we're going to get another guest from over in your way for next week to actually talk about that River City action. So,
nice.
Yes, sir. We'll start prepping for that as well, brother man.
Right on. I appreciate you guys and what you guys do for the sport.
Thanks for your time,
Thank
sir.
you, brother.
Yep. See y'all.
All right, bye.
Since Justin has been on board with us at Hard Nose, we have figured out how much Broadhead Decals means to the sport of demolition derby. His great quality parts are seen from coast to coast and everywhere in between.
But he can do more than just Derby products. Your everyday business may need some pep in its step with new banners or stickers. And just give him an idea and let him run with it. Whether it's business related or just want to look badass in the winter circle, let Broadhead Decals work for you.
We do.
That's been a long time coming.
Well, and it's always fun talking to that dude. I mean, like I said, we run into him for the first time at Bourbon.
That he knew of.
Right.
You know, we both talked. We had watched TikToks. You know, we'd watched Facebook.
Yes, 100%.
He didn't know we followed him, but
right. Well, and,
he did that night.
Yeah. Oh, God. I didn't know if he was going to bring that up or not.
He mentioned it to me last night. He was like, oh, fuck.
Oh. Well, it's good to see that I'm still intimidated. Because I'm not in as good a shape as I used to be. If I can't get you on that first or second hit, you probably got me beat.
Yep. Yeah, fuck it. I'll just lay down. I'm done.
But, I mean, I understand what he's talking about with the burnout stuff. Mm-hmm. And a lot of your older school Derby guys, they don't understand. Because this is a different side of that. Because you're not wore out from working. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not from swinging a hammer or, you know, welding all night or whatever. It is a different type of fatigue.
Yep.
The amount of time and effort that goes into anything that comes from an influencer's side.
Yep.
And I still don't know if we're in that category or not.
The influencer side?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't either.
But it's the amount of research that we do, the editing on not so much the podcast side, but our videos that we post. Mm-hmm. And making sure for the most part, which we still got our fact checkers, just making sure that we aren't falsifying the information that we're putting out.
But you want to know what's cool? Like Friday, I'm at the show and I see this younger guy. He just keeps looking at me. And we've said face for radio, not for TV.
Correct.
Right. So he comes up and he just walks right up to me. He said, Derek? I said, yes, sir. He said, listen, every week, glad to finally meet you. Just those little things like that.
Yeah, it's
like,
cool shit.
It kind of brings you, I don't know if it's back down to earth or reality or a little bit.
It's humbling.
Yeah, and you're like, holy cool. You know, dude, appreciate you listening. Glad to meet you.
Well, and I've had a couple of those situations where I'll be standing there talking to somebody or a group of people that I don't know, you know, because me, I'm really scared of strangers.
You don't like to talk to people.
And I'm scared of strangers.
Bitch, you can't spell strangers.
You're right. But was standing there talking to this group, and then you'll have one of them fucking light bulb. You can see it. They'll be like, hey, are you you guy from Hard Nose? I said, yeah, that's me. He's like, holy shit. You know, I didn't, he's like, I kind of expected you to be, you know, like standoffish in those situations. He's like, I couldn't even tell. I said, well, dude, I'm telling you that just because we're talking to a fucking mic.
Correct.
Like, honestly, the personality thing from the podcast is exactly who the fuck I am when I'm at a show.
Correct.
I mean, this isn't a front that's put on, or, you know, that we don't change ourselves in the way we speak or the thought process that goes into whatever, because everything that we talk about on this fucking thing is how we feel about what's going on.
No, because you will motherfuck them in person.
Yeah. 100%.
As well as over the microphone.
Yeah. Well, and you and I made that blatantly clear when we started this. If we have to start censoring or scripting or anything like that, I'm not fucking doing it.
Nope. At all.
No, because I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Because if I can't say, well, I'm not going to hide behind a fucking keyboard, in quotations, microphone, in this instance. Like, if I've got an issue with somebody and I say it on here, you're goddamn right, I'll tell you to your face.
Yep. But we've got...
That's why we've never been loyal to... We've never been under the thumb of one person.
Correct.
That's not what we do.
Mm-hmm.
We're here for the greater good of the sport. And honestly, if somebody's paying me to do this, fuck you. I'm not saying what you want me to. I mean, we've been places and they're like, oh, hey, you're going to do this. The fuck I am. Wrong.
Correct.
You got me 3 different kinds of fucked up. You came here to drink beer and take a couple videos. Looks like my phone's about dead.
But my cooler ain't empty.
Fucking facts. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like doing this so that we can say whatever the fuck we want.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing good for the sport, you're on our good side. If you're not, I'm going to talk shit on you.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Critter. No Mercy is actually this weekend. Dunbar, Pennsylvania.
So many fucking shows.
TJ McCullough. That's another show that he's broke off from the place that you want to go to, Dead Man.
I know. Are any of those guys listening yet?
I don't know. I haven't reached out to TJ.
Do I need to send a link to them? I mean, we talk about their shit all the time. I've basically got on my knees at this point.
Oh, my.
Somebody forward this shit to him.
And then the very next week, we ramp right into River City Rampage, Terre Haute, Indiana.
I'm going to have to go to that show.
Which one?
RCR.
RCR?
Yeah. One of these days, I'm going to have to. Because it looks like a fucking blast.
Absolute blast. Except the Team No Sleep shit.
Right.
Oh, I'm out.
Well, I didn't say I was taking a car.
There you go.
Take a cooler.
You probably fit in real well then. But, guys, we're going to do everything we can to keep growing as much as we can. You're going to probably see some changes.
Oh, yeah.
Here in the next...
I'd say 2 weeks.
Very short period of time. We might even change some places that we go to.
Yeah. A little revamp, boy.
Somewhat revamp. But maybe a little changes ethically and morally and personally on our end as well. So,
well, we've said it many a time. We don't stray morally from anything.
Nope. I'm a man of my word.
Fucking A, bud.
So, got any last words?
Nope.
Make junk, boys.